Hello everybody, I hope you all are well, fit and fine. And this is Satyam and welcome to English with Satyam. Friends, in this video I'm going to talk about some important ways, some important methods, okay? And these methods are very most important. You said why? Because this method is very useful to learn any language, okay? And we know this channel, okay, is belong to English language, okay? So in this video I am going to tell you some methods, some ways by which you may be able, right, you must be able to speak English fluently, okay? So direct point is that we are going to learn how to speak English fluently, right? So this video is going to be very important for those who want to learn speak English fluently, right? And we know that what is the importance of English language, right? How it is important to speak English fluently, right? It is very most important, it is very imperative for all of us to know English language, to explore English language, right? To speak well, to understand well, right? And this is the most important thing, okay dear? So a short video I have uploaded, okay, in this channel, and I discussed in a very strong way, means that video is short, right? And I will discuss all these things fastly, right? So you can say that video is going to be the brief of this video, right? So in this video I'm going to discuss all things in detailed, okay? Means what you have to do, what you have to prepare, what you have to learn, what you have to study, okay, to learn how to speak English fluently, okay dear? So let's start our topic. So friends, our topic is how to speak English fluently, okay? So this is the basically question of this video, how to speak English fluently, okay dear? So listen single word, okay? Listen each and every word that I'm going to talk about in this video, because every word that I will speak in this video is going to be most important, okay, for you all guys, right? So let's start. So how to speak English fluently, this is basically our topic, okay? So this is our topic, how to speak English fluently, okay? Now see, my dear friends, now see carefully. To learn any language, I'm saying to learn any language, not English but any language, there are four ways. What that ways? So first way is, okay, is that speaking, right? Second one is reading. Third one is writing. And fourth one is listening. Okay? So my dear students, speaking, reading, writing and listening, these four ways, okay, are used to learn any language. to learn any language, right? You have to speak, you have to read, you have to write, you have to listen, you have to listen. Okay, now see, so first of all, let's discuss. Okay, if we talk about, okay, so speaking, okay, speaking is the most important. Okay dear, speaking is the most important. Speaking is the very most important. Why? Because when you do practice of speaking, okay, when you practice of speaking, and we know the more we practice, the more fluent, the more better we are, right? Means practice makes man perfect, right? Means you have to speak more and more, you have to speak more and more, and the more you will speak, the more fluent you will be, right? So practice of speaking is the most important. Practice of speaking is the most important. Okay, while discuss further about it, I'm going to explore reading, writing, listening. What you have to study, what you have to read, right? What you have to write, and what you have to listen. Okay, so listen all these things carefully. Okay, my dear students. So reading, what you have to read, what you have to read to learn English language, okay. So my dear students, you have to read basically means you have to study, you can say. Okay, you have to read two things, you have to read grammar, as well as vocabulary, okay. Grammar and vocabulary is very most important. Okay, and third one is vocabulary, and third one is pronunciation, Okay, now see my dear students, means you have to read vocabulary, you have to read grammar, you have to read vocabulary, and as well as you have to read pronunciation, So in the reading portion you have to do it, you have to study the concepts of grammar. Okay, you have to learn more and more vocabulary, and we know that vocabularies are endless. Okay, so try to learn as many as possible as you can, right? So vocabulary is also very most important. And pronunciation means the words that you are learning, it is important to learn its pronunciation, and pronunciation, okay, matters a lot by accent, because we know that there are two popular accents. Okay, we know that is American accent and British accent, right? So accent makes your pronunciation very different. Okay, so you have to learn about accents, okay, to be correct pronunciation, right? So you have to learn about accents. Okay, my dear students, so you have to study grammar, you have to read vocabulary, and you have to read correct pronunciation of the vocabulary that you are reading. So this is the important thing, right? Next one is writing. Writing is the most important thing. Okay, writing is the most important thing. We know that writing is a skill that is the very most important. Why? We know that if something that we write, okay, so that thing that you are writing, okay, so these things these things can easily remembered by mind, and mind, okay, and mind stores all these things for a long time, okay. So writing is the important, so writing is the very important thing, okay. So means I want to say that you are reading, means everything that you are reading, try to write it, okay. When you write, okay, as you are reading some vocabulary, as you are reading some grammar, so when you write it, so all these concepts, okay, all these concepts fixed in your mind, right? All these concepts feel fixed in your mind, okay. It, okay, it will be saved for a long time, and you can remember it very easily when you going to take a speech, okay, when you speak English. So it helps you, okay. So everything means if you are reading something important, then try to write it, and when you write it, your mind observe it very fastly and put in your mind for a very long time, okay, dear friends. So this is the importance of writing, okay. And writing is very most important skill, okay. If you are facing some problem, okay, if you are in confusion, if you means you are in confusion that whether you choose it or that, okay, means you are in the confusion of choosing, in deciding what you have to do, okay. So in this way, try to write your questions, means understand my points. If you have two plans and you have to choose one, okay, means you whether A or B, okay. So make a lines, okay, A column A and B column B, and write things, and when you write, and this is called road mapping, this is called mind mapping, right? So when you write, all these things come together and you can easily find your decision, write all the points, means option A and option B, write the plus points and minus points, and decide. And when you do it, you can easily find your answer, which option you have to find, which option you have to follow, right? So this is the important thing. So read and write it, okay. So this is the important thing. And now you have the knowledge. If you are doing these two things, so you have the knowledge of grammar, you have the knowledge of vocabulary, and you have the knowledge of pronunciation, right? Fourth one is listening. Listening is the most important, okay. There is a nice word that a great listener is a great orator, okay. In Hindi, first I am going to repeat it again. A good listener is a good orator, ठीक है. इन हिंदी एक अच्छा श्रोता ही एक अच्छा स्पीकर होता है, right? So you have to be a good listener, and when you will be a good listener, you will be a fluent speaker, you will be a good speaker, right? So you have to listen, and listen those people who speak English fluently, who speak English well, okay. And there are lots of platforms. When you search in YouTube, on Facebook, on Google, so there are many people are there, okay. And especially on YouTube, there are lots of YouTubers who teach English language, okay. So study from them, listen from them, okay. Because when you listen, you will get the knowledge, okay. When you listen someone, you will get how grammar he is using, how vocabulary he is using, okay, how he pronouncing the words. So you will get the idea how can I use, right? So listening is the most important thing. Means especially you have to listen, okay. And if you want to be a good orator, you have to you will have to be a, and you have to be a good listener, because listener is very most important thing. Okay, and when you do all these things, you have read, you have write, you have listened, and now this is the most important. ठीक है, very most important. This is the most important. Okay, if you are reading, good. If you are writing, very good. You are listening, very good. But if you are not doing speaking, then your all these works, okay, is not worth. Okay, it is wasteful if you are not doing this. Okay, so what is the purpose? Your purpose is to speak, and you do all these things to help you to speak English fluently, right? So speak means practice of speaking. Okay, as I said, the more, ठीक है, the more you will speak, okay, the more you will speak, the more fluent you will be, okay, means the more you will speak, the more fluent you are. So speaking is the most important. Okay, so you have to speak more and more. Okay, means as possible as you have to speak. Okay, my dear students,